What's the difference between a dog and a marine biologist? One of them wags tails and the other one tags whales. So we're going to talk about whales and sailing. And I literally just woke up, and before I start my real job for the day, was going to rip through this blog and just live react. I watched the video. I haven't read the blog. There's definitely more info in the blog. So this is a kind of a like a live reading. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. But if you do enjoy talking about sailing, I've got all kinds of sailing videos, but I'm going to have all kinds more coming out. Probably, like, these are just the blog reviews. I'll actually have proper sailing videos coming out as well, and all kinds of stuff. So I encourage you to like and subscribe. I have to say it. It's part of my contract with Twitch. You guys just heard a loud sound, I'm sure, from RuneScape. I'm AFK in Castle Wars today. Okay, so here's what we're looking at. A big blog. It's a hefty one. They say it's hefty, so it must be. And they're talking about rewards, resources, and ideas all at once. And the little before we set sail, before we talk about this stuff, what are we doing here? Well, it's the whole point of this. Well, hand in hand with the new skill, like, we could just add the skill and be boating around and doing our thing. But you're going to need all kinds of resources and rewards and activities and skilling and stuff to tie everything together. And this is basically talking about it so that they can pull it, so that it can pass the poll. Funny thing that they'll talk about. Many of the materials mentioned in the blog will be introduced as core parts of the new skill for which you already voted. They make sure to tell everyone, we've already voted sailing in. For those who don't remember, and I'll say it. Before you get up in arms, we already voted yes to a new skill. We voted sailing as the one that we were most interested in, and then we voted yes to sailing. There were 3 different polls, blogs. It's easy to forget because it was like 2.5, 3 years ago. So there's no like repolling sailing or anything like that. The whole point of those 3 polls that sailing got voted into was that they wanted to know that they're not wasting their time developing it. They've spent years doing this. So it's coming. So now it's up to us to hold them accountable to release the best possible update on the first day of release, and then also to get more updates as it goes along. Picture Varlamore. You had part 1, part 2, part 3. Varlamore part 1 felt great. It was like, oh, this is a really cool update with lots of stuff. And then they add more, and then they add more. And now it's like, honestly, they could add a Varlamore part 4, and I'd be happy. But that's what sailing is for. They're just going to keep adding more and more bits to sailing to keep fleshing it out and adding new things and content and whatever else. Any new content, I imagine how it's kind of go eventually is when they do like their RuneFest reveals, they're going to have like, we're putting 2 major sailing updates in, one in December and one in July. And then every other update is going to be non-sailing related. It's going to be like a mini game thing that we're doing on like whatever, Castle Wars. And this one's going to be a raid that's not sailing whatsoever. It's going to be completely separate. Like, they're going to have those as the big updates each year. Is a couple of them are sailing related, just for the first few years probably of sailing. At that point, they might say, hey, it's good. We're just going to leave it and just do like smaller updates. But yeah, it's like the reason why I wanted sailing originally is because it has the biggest potential to just like make this game amazing, even more amazing, where it could also be the one that fails the most. I don't know. It just depends how you some people go all in at the casino or gamble with all of their money at the duel arena or whatever. But it's kind of what sailing is you're going all in on this concept that could flop. But now it's up to us to make sure it doesn't. And we can control that through our voting at this point and our feedback. And me making videos. Maybe a JMod's out there listening to this as feedback. And I apologize if you are. My voice sucks. My videos are low effort. And, at the end of the day, it's night. So let's get right into this. To all viewers and JMods, thank you again for joining me on this journey. Woodcutting, fire making, and more. We're going to have some new logs, okay? Put the meme of the beaver being like, got any log, bro? And it's like a crack addict, but it's a beaver. Anyways, it's funny. So they talk about logs. They're not going to just keep like willow logs and maple logs and whatever as their logs for stuff because it doesn't make sense. They did their research and they see that boats are not made out of willow or stuff like that. So these are the types of logs that we can look at. So we've got Jatoba. So, sunny shores of Great Conch. Great Conch is that new area that they're adding, like the huge big island. that's like bigger than Karamja. It's no good for boats, but it might come in handy for questing. Comparable lower XP maple tree. Camphor. Fragrant and resilient camphor logs provide excellent wood for constructing seaworthy vessels for mid-tier voyages, etc., etc. Slightly more XP per hour than mahogany, but less logs per hour. So this is like filling out a couple of XP points in wood cutting. So that's cool. Ironwood logs. It's kind of interesting. I don't know if these exist. I've never heard of ironwood logs. I think these ones are real, though. Dense, hardy. Any log enthusiasts, put it in the comments. Okay. These dense, hardy logs ensure your ship will withstand even the harshest storms, bridging the gap between skilled craftsmanship and adventurous spirit. Used in shipbuilding as hardwood trees above camphor. Slightly more XP per hour than camphor trees, but less logs per hour. Yada, yada, yada. Rosewood, master sailors. So not redwood, rosewood. Unmatched durability and prestige, ideal for elite vessels. Shipbuilding as hardwood trees above ironwood will slightly more XP per hour, etc., etc. So it's pretty sweet. Yeah, they respond slower to reduce effectiveness of 1.5 tick methods. So they're trying to fit these into fire making and wood cutting and fletching areas. Yeah, the Jatoba ones, or the Jatoba, whatever, it sounds like a Star Wars reference, are just used for like quests and fire making. The camphor will have some more uses, ironwood, rosewood. So it's filling in some gaps on the wood chop thing here. So if we look at what do we got here? Trees. Also, we're 6 minutes in, 6.5. This is gonna be a long one. So buckle up and hope to see you there all the way through. Just, clean your boyfriend's wife's room while we're watching this. So there's nothing between magic trees and redwoods. They just added the infected tree roots, but that's not really a log. So yeah, that adds a little bit of spice. The ironwood can be there, and then for camphor at 66, you've got 60 and then 75. They did add blisterwoods and Suliacep mushroom trees and stuff, but if you just want tree, then there's now a new thing there. So it's really nice. That's the whole point of this blog, and a huge part of this skill is that they're just filling in the rest of the game with meaningful rewards and stuff like that. So, and then rosewood is 92, which is higher than redwood, which is pretty cool, which I like. Because right now it's just get to 90 and then AFK for 100 and something hours at redwoods, and then you have your 99. Kind of, when you really think about it, it's poor gameplay, but it is really fun to just AFK and get XP. So, the poll question will be, should the new trees get added? That's simple as that. Mining. Moving on to the mining. New ores. Or what? Lead, rubium, and nickel are the three ones that they're thinking of adding. So lead is a conventional mining rock. Rubium is mined similarly to volcanic ash, and it's stackable. And then rubium geodes would be mined similarly to infernal shale deposits and then smashed into splinters. So rubium geodes are AFKable, and the rubium splinters are not, but they're like stackable. So there's what the three rocks currently look like, and what are they used for? So lead will be an alternative to those willing to train their sailing on the early game mining journey. Lead bars are used in shipbuilding and keep ships watertight. Cool. Rubium, where is it? Cannonballs. Ship-only cannonballs to make incendiary cannonballs. So you're going to have a cannon on your boat, and you can shoot at sharks and different sea creatures with your cannon to attack them and stuff, which opens up an entire new, literally, combat method. Like, it'll probably be tied to range, but when you think about it, it's like the equivalent of sailing is to combat. Slayer is to combat. Like, when you train your Slayer, you're training combats also. When you're training sailing, you're training combats also. It's kind of how it works. Like, you'll be able to shoot your cannon and get some range XP, but it's also going to give you sailing XP, and it's part of sailing. So, yeah, it's kind of good that they've got it that way. Also, Gratz Wimbop on zombie gloves and trousers. That's huge as a count that progressed. Now, nickel. So Motherlode Mine, Baronite, or Camdozel, it's like similar where it's like you're chilling, it's AFK. Lower XP per hour than Motherlode Mine, but it should be profitable. So nickel is going to be used to like up your ships and stuff like that. Moving on to the fishing. lantern fishing and deep sea trawling. Honestly, like, I'm not much of a skiller, but this one is like the most interesting to me. Fishing has a great skill progression right now with all the different methods. Like, you've got AFK ones for low XP, you've got AFK ones for higher XP, you've got mid-tier XP for money, mid-tier XP for not money but better AFK. You've got high XP that's more AFK that gives different, like, you know, strength and agility. And then you've got higher tier that doesn't give that, but it gives more money. And like, you have like all these options, like super click intensive, like everything. It's got options for everything. But adding another one is going to be nice. Like, this one is going to be to catch new fish that will allow you to learn. Okay, you'll be able to learn new harpoon techniques using a lantern. But yeah, these new fish can be cooked for food or used as potion ingredients with herb lore. I might be jumping ahead. I haven't actually read further in the blog. I kind of would be down for fish, a couple of different fish added to the game. Some that are 2 bites, where you know, bite 1 is like 14 HP and bite 2 is 12 HP or something like that. Like half crab, like you could have pizzas. It's kind of like pizzas, like, but that could become the new best in slot food where it heals like more than the moonlight antelope does. The moonlight antelope has its own uses because it heals or it cures poison, which people don't really know about. As well as it gives you that 1 bite and then it gives you passive HP later. Maybe they just add like a blue crab that heals you know, the most of 1 inventory slot. Doesn't usurp the bruise like Ceratom and Bruise yet, but yeah, that could be cool. And then you could have stuff where it's like food that you eat and it gives you like super strength bonus, or it gives you a range pod bonus or stuff like that. But yeah, you can cook these fish or you can mix them in with herb lore. So let's see what they're talking about that. So sword tip squid, you get some stuff. Yeah, harpoon similar to tuna and swordfish. Jumbo squid, squid paste, squid offcuts, harpoon fish. Oh, you'll get jumbo squid. So that's very, very simple. It's just a new way of catching that. I'm sure these are like, the squid paste will be useful for something. Pestle and Mortal, I believe they said herb lore. Deep sea, so you've got level 76, 65, 84, of course 56 here as well. So deep sea trawling will be an immersive activity blending sailing and fishing to provide unique and rewarding gameplay experiences. In her previous sailing blog, unlike traditional fishing methods, deep sea trawling focuses on exploring vast ocean expanses to encounter large shoals teeming with exotic marine life. I love the idea of this. Imagine you could sail around aimlessly, which I am looking forward to doing. You just sail around and then you see like floating in the water a shooting star or something, like I don't know, or you're like, oh, that's sick, and you go and you do that, or you see like literally a clue in a bottle floating in the water, so you sail up to it and then you like grab it and then now you have a clue scroll and you can do stuff like actual, just like kind of like Pokemon random events. Or you're sailing in the water and you see like a giant kraken and it's like random. I know you can never do true random in RuneScape, but it's like randomly generated stuff like that just in the deep oceans. But then part of that would be like you're sailing around and you see like the water is disturbed in an area and maybe you can even see through the water and there's fish under there. They did talk about like revamping the water looks or something, so maybe they'll do that. But that would be really cool if you can just like sail around. You're getting sailing XP. You could, if you bump into like a great white shark, you could be like, you know what, I'm not going to kill this right now. I'm just going to keep sailing around. Or you could keep going with that and kill it. And like, I don't know. That's kind of like something that I want to do. And if part of that is that I just put a trawling net out the back and I can catch some of these fish and make some money and get some resources, then that's awesome. I look forward to that. So the types of fish: krill, haddock, yellowfin tuna, halibut, bluefin tuna, marlin. 93 cooking level to cook that, 24 HP, and an extended stamina potion. So marlin is huge. Like, it actually is going to be a really nice, moneymaker, I suppose, if it's healing 24. This is really cool. 22 HP, and it gives you 5 prayer points. Those are amazing. So halibut is a combo food like a karambwan, but it heals 20 instead of 16, 18. I'm drawing a blank on that. 20% energy from yellowfin, extreme energy potion. Over heals up to 10 HP from a haddock, 18. Like, some really nice ideas for food and for fish and stuff like that. Keep in mind, when you're PKing, people can just hit 150 damage. Like, you can just AGS Gmaul someone with, like, a surge, and just you're dead. Like, we could use some additional food. And, like, when I'm going and killing the Doom of Mokli Hoidel, I'm dying a lot. And maybe better food would help me with that. Because right now, it's just bring a full inventory of brews and hope that you don't get KO'd. Whereas it could be nice to have some stuff that heals a little bit more, that like makes food worth it again, you know? Anyways, just a side thought. So there'll be a poll for different types of fish. So they're going to poll each one of these, which is good because they probably will all pass, in my opinion. I don't see anything that's like overpowered, I suppose. Okay, so this Marlin here, extended stamina potion, the ring of endurance, like, that's useless, right? I actually haven't looked, but maybe that thing is just completely, that's just dead weight. I'm gonna, we're looking at it right now. So here's the Ellie. Let's go ring of endurance. I have no clue what this thing costs. Uncharged, real-time prices. Ah, look at that. I was right. So let's see what this did in the past year. 30 mil down to now 8. So that's on the way down. What I think they could do is, instead of, where are we here? Oh, I'm frozen. There, we're back. Extended stamina potions. What if, oh, I'm clicking all around. What if, instead of this giving an extended stamina potion, you could break down a ring of endurance into like 1,000 shards, and those each give you 1 dose of an extended stamina potion. Like, you add it to a stam, and then it makes your staminas give you 4 minutes instead of 2. That would keep the ring of endurance price up. Like, I don't know, I'm not an economist, but it is good to have valuable rewards and not discontinue or devalue items like that, because the ring of endurance is going to be garbage, if that. But they'll probably make it so the ring of endurance doubles this effect. But, like, where is that useful? Like, I don't think that's useful anywhere. So, that was a little sidebar. Hope you enjoyed. All right, thanks for hanging with me so far. Remember to subscribe if you want. Like, I'm not going to force you, but, like, I'm getting close to 3K subs. I told my wife I'd be at 5,000 by the end of the year, so, like, pressure's on. Otherwise, I'm going to have to sleep on the couch for a year, so appreciate you clicking the button. At last, the crab rave is real. Crab hunting expeditions. I like that idea right there, expeditions. I don't want to just stand still in Feldup Hills and catch stuff and they all respawn and yada yada. Like, if we're like going around doing this is awesome. So place your traps at set locations and bait them with fish offcut. So the fish offcut came from above here when we were catching stuff. After a set amount of time, crabs will make a dash for the baited trap. Red and blue crabs will move after 15 ticks, rainbow crabs after 25. With precise timing, you can achieve smooth cycles of setting, baiting, and harvesting traps, resulting in consistent hunter XP. I love it. It's no longer random when they go into the trap or not. They're making it so it's like 15 ticks, and you can time things nicely. Rainbow crabs 77. Is the highest level. Like, I just jump right to the highest level. Might as well, because we don't really care about red crabs at 21. No one's going to be doing that. We're all max gamers, right, guys? Right? Important gameplay notes. We've intentionally structured crab hunting to be an understandable and highly predictable. The consistent spawning intervals ensure your reward for skillful gameplay. Trap setting is 2 ticks manual, 3 ticks automatic. Harvesting is 1 tick. And then moving between traps is 2 ticks. So if the trap setting is like, click on it in your inventory and then click on it on the ground to set it for 2 ticks, that's awesome. Or you could just click on it in your inventory and it'll auto set it after 3 ticks. Like, that's such smart gameplay. It's so simple. Harvesting is 1 tick and then moving is 2. So they've got the cycles all mapped out and everything. I am in love with this idea for hunter training. Predictable XP rates will be stable and fixed. It means crab hunting will be much more relevant when you unlock it. When you gain access to higher quantities of traps, will fall off over time compared to other training methods where XP is determined by hunter level. So it seems like it's best at 77. And if we pull up our like box traps here, 73. Right at 73, you fail a lot of the time, and right at 63 on the red chins and stuff like that, usually you wait till at least 80, like when you get the extra trap, So yeah, 80 lay 5 traps. So yeah, I think that's kind of what they're talking about doing with this, is like it'll be best at 77 right away, and then maybe at 85 black chins becomes better. So love that idea. And then the crabs themselves can be used for stuff they talked about. So coral nurseries and new crops, huge amount of new farming resources. Don't need to go into it too much like individually here, but new hardwood trees that you can grow yourself that then you can build your boat with. Some hops patches, like we don't use the hops patch, but you can grow your own flax, hemp, and cotton, which is great. And then for coral, you can make your own elkhorn pillar and umbral, and this is kind of what it looks like. It looks like the underwater giant seaweed farming. So coral nurseries, you can cultivate these things. It's crucial for potent herblore concoctions. I'm curious to see if they actually talk about what that will make, but 2 hours and 40 minutes for each of these, and there's what you would protect it with, so kind of cool. New hops, so 1 hour for the hops, for like flax and stuff like that. Average yield 35 flax, level 18 farming though, so it's very low level. Maybe this is just like not realistic. Maybe they can turn that into the bales of flax or something like that. Flax is just like, it's crazy. It just literally grows on trees. So hemp seeds, cotton seeds. So yeah, that's kind of cool. So they've got the different ideas for that. Hardwood patches, 85 hours, 96 hours. These are big. And then curry leaves, dragon fruit trees, stuff like that. Very good for training your whatever, I'm sure. So it's better than mahoganies. This is interesting here. Fletching blowpipes, fabrics, and stuff like that. So when you get your flax, hemp, and cotton, what are you making with that? Bolt of linen, bolt of canvas, bolt of cotton, ship sails, fishing nets. That's what you're making from these. So cotton is going to be very valuable. Level 73 crafting. That's like the highest tier cotton. Interesting enough here. You can carve blowpipes from camphor, ironwood, and rosewood trees, providing powerful ranged weaponry for mid-level adventurers. Right now, there's either hold the darts manually and throw them, and they hit like 12s. I was just doing it. I'm like 75 range on my pier at Gem Crab Boss with rune darts, and my max hit was 12. Or use a blowpipe, and your max hit is like 30. Like, it was crazy the swing on it. It was such a big, drastic difference. So now they're going to have it so you can make your own blowpipes, which if you want a 3-tick weapon that has a bit of range, you'll use like a magic short bow, and it's a little bit more accurate. Or if you're killing something that's super inaccurate, you use a blowpipe. I like it. It's fleshing out the mid game there, which is awesome. So we've got the rosewood, blowpipe, ironwood, etc. And yeah, you'll need a squid beak. So you need to catch yourself a squid and use its beak plus some logs, and that's what you do. Max dart type, key to note here, adamant. So that's kind of cool. I wonder, like, this one says myth is the highest. Maybe they make that steel. This is myth, that's addy. But regardless, doesn't really matter. But yeah, it's just like a nice little mid-tier weapon. I picture these being like 30 to 50k. Like maybe the squid beaks keep the value up. But cheap, and then different use than the magic short bow, basically. Herblore and cooking, potions and food. I'm curious to see what they're doing with these. So by mixing some of these things together, anti-odor salt, stackable salt that's consumed to smoke a hunter trap when setting one up. Interesting. Apparently, like when you smoke your hunter trap, it is actually better to catch things, but no one does it. Cures bleeding and heals 5 hit points, but does not prevent bleed from being reapplied. Anti-bleed tonic, so that's like a low-level one. Super fishing potion. Boosts fishing by 6. It's such a simple thing that they could do. Like, they currently have the +5s for most skills. They can just make everything +6 now. I don't think it's good gameplay to use that RFD, like, spicy stews for everything. So it doesn't change much if they make a potion that boosts your crafting by 6, for example. Like, oh no, people can make their, things 1 level earlier. I think it's fine, personally. Extreme energy potion, 40% run energy, so it's coal and tuna. Mix that all together. Super hunting potion, hunter level by 6, pillar coral crab paste. This would be nice for like birdhouses, for example. Extended stamina potion, 70% reduction in run energy, depletion for 4 minutes, so it's up from 2. Each dose adds 2 charges to the Ring of Endurance and consumes 2 charges from the ring. Interesting. Marlin scales for that one. Armadil Brew heals hit points for 10% plus 2, so 11, if I'm not mistaken, and raises your range level by 10% plus 4. Hold on. 10% of, so 9 plus 4. That's just the same. Isn't that? Wouldn't that just be the same? 10%, so 99. Everything rounds down. Times 0.1 is 9.9, and then plus 4. Yeah, okay, hold on. 9.9. So now we have 99 plus 9.9. It's flumple math time. Plus 4. Yeah, it's still 112.9. So, like, that's the current boost. But I guess it's healing you for 12 HP per sip, too. So, that's kind of interesting. You could stack brews in your inventory, like these, which heal, like, I don't know, almost 60 HP per potion. And it keeps your range. You don't need to constantly repot range. I like that idea. It's a cool idea. Those will be useful in certain places where you're just ranging, because it's going to lower your attack strength range, or magic, whatever. Very interesting. And then they're going to pull each individual one of these. This is going to be a lengthy pull. Maybe they're breaking it up and I didn't read that. Continuing along. 26 minutes in. And we are... yeah, we're going to be done soon. Soon TM. Okay, we've added some delectable marine delights for you to sink your teeth into. So basic foods and advanced foods. Let's take a look. Health. Red, blue, sword-tip squid, krill, jumbo squid, haddock. So up to that point, these are just health. The haddock can overheal 10 hit points, capped at 20% of the player's hit point level. So it's kind of like an anglerfish. It's kind of nice, but not quite. That's just like a mid-tier angler. Rainbow crab, yeah, 19 health. That's it. This one, yellowfin tuna, is nice. Restores 20% energy. It's kind of big. Like it's right now. There's like summer pies were used at Leviathan because you do a lot of running there. But now you won't need to worry about that. Halibut used as a combo food, 20 HP. New best in the slot Cannonballs have been acquired. Bluefin tuna, 5 prayer points, and then marlin. However, this is the biggest single bite food in the game, 24 health. It's up from 22. So I like this. I think all of that's good. I think it's well fleshed out. Smithing and construction, huge for the shipbuilding. So you're going to need to build your hull, build your cannonballs, bronze to dragon parts to add new planks, build stronger and more versatile ships, adding loads of new cannonballs. Some of them can be smithed in the same way as your standard cannonballs, while others will be exclusive drops from mobs at sea. So we've got lead, copper nickel. Interesting. When you're combining nickel with copper, they call it copper nickel, but they spell it wrong. Bronze, iron, steel, myth, addy, rune, dragon. It's kind of cool. Dragon sheets. So they don't have bars for that. I don't know how we're going to get that. Maybe they say it. So we've got, these are all the parts, and then you've got your cannonballs. We're finally getting bronze, iron, steel, mithril, addy, rune, dragon cannonballs. And you got some chains that you can add to them, which is cool. I like that. They look like little rune scrotus right there. And then incendiary, you add rubium splinters to them. That's pretty cool. I like it. This is interesting, because if that's also going to work in the main game, like they have to address that. I'd be fine if steel hits 30, granite hits 35, maybe mithril hits like 33, addy hits 34, rune hits 36, and dragon hits 37. Like, I don't know. That should be fine. Cannons are already, like, outclassed by just doing Barrage Slayer anyways, and you can't set up a cannon in, like, 90% of the game. Just a thought. Improved Cannonball Smithing. They're probably going to go right into it and just... Okay, so... Brittle Islands, 81 sailing. There's a special furnace. It's almost snowed under. The furnace is a door. It's kind of cool. I like that. The forge reduces the time it takes to smith one set of cannonballs from 8 to 4 ticks. Nice. You want to speed up your cannonball smithing? Go to this island. Love it. Smithing steel cannonballs for the dwarf multi-cannon. additionally, the double mold, maybe, yeah, that's what they're going to do. They're just going to say you can only use steel in the dwarf multi-cannon. The double mold will also work here. So you're going to be able to smith, doing the math in my head here, I think you can smith 2,000 an hour regularly. This is going to make it 4,000. And then if you use the double ball thing, it will make it 8,000. So that's pretty cool. Furnace is located on a remote island, but very close to a docking point. With the help of your teleport to boat spell, you could easily teleport to your bank of choice, then return in a snap. While you'll save time, you want to consider the rune cost of such an endeavor. Cannonballs with low profit margins won't be worth your time. You might have spotted that we've renamed cannonballs steel cannonballs to avoid confusion. Your boat cannon is a nifty bit of hardware that will accept any type of cannonball, whereas your trusty multi-cannon only takes steel. Yeah, okay, well, yeah. I mean, I had about 2 minutes there where I was able to dream, but yeah. Yo, give me a second while I slurp on my energy drink. Oh, that's bloody lovely. Nice. 2 flavors. Chain shot cannonballs, same max hit, but they'll stop their enemies in their tracks. Incendiary, deal the same max hit as their basic, but apply burn to the effect to the target. So if we end up doing boat PvP, that'd be pretty cool to, like, you burn their boat, and then you can also, like, oh, they're running, use the chain shot to stop them where they are. Like, I assume this is not meant for boats to, like, work on boats, but maybe it's, like, just players. If you got a player who gets out of their boat and starts swimming ashore because they're running, you know, when you used to see people run, like, away in the wilderness, and now it's just everyone just tellies or I don't know, fights back, but yeah, you could just, like, chain them to the ground. That's kind of funny. Anyways, yeah, this will pass in my opinion. Like, it's cool. This is a nice little thing here. I do still think they could add, like, they could just make it so that your cannonballs work with the dwarf multi-cannon. I'll give them that feedback. Why not? Sailing or ranged based for cannons. Okay, a couple of considerations here. With cannons being able to target enemies on land, level 3 skillers can now train Slayer more easily by luring creatures close to shores. Non-ranged monsters can be more easily safe spotted from boats. Okay. Couple of considerations there. Existing precedents. Dwarf multi-cannon relies on your range level. Cannons in Temperos and Barb Assault are not range based, meaning skillers already have cannons without access to using range. Okay. Integration and narrative. Making cannons range based could seamlessly integrate sailing with an existing combat skill. Conversely, cannons are facilities aboard your ship. It makes sense that your skill in sailing will influence your accuracy and effectiveness while using one. Impact on the metas. New training methods for skillers could open exciting gameplay options, like Chambers created fish avenues for skill-based accounts. Here's our plan. Keep sailing cannons sailing-based. Accuracy and damage will remain determined by your sailing skill level. This maintains thematic consistency and allows us to stay true to what's already been communicated and tested. Explore new skill integrations in the future. For example, magical cannons utilizing your magic skill to shoot fireballs, or specialized range-focused dwarven ship cannons could be exciting expansions. So, when you shoot the cannonball, it would be sailing XP as opposed to range. And there is the precedent of that. Like, when you're doing it in Temperos, it's not... It's fishing XP at Temperos, weirdly, and then Barb Assault, but, like, that made sense. What if it doesn't give range XP, it gives sailing XP, and it uses sailing, but it's based on your range level? Like, the accuracy scales with your range level. It doesn't make, you don't have to have it give the XP. Like, so level 3 skillers could lure someone to shore and then shoot from there, but, like, if you just made it so if, like, okay, they've got 1 range, then they're super inaccurate. I don't know if it's worth doing, but, like, you could also have a combo, be like your sailing level plus your range level, you know, divided by whatever, but divided by 2 for the average. So you could have 99 sailing and 1 range, and you could divide it and get the 49.5 or whatever. That could work. Interesting. But yeah, they could add some magic stuff for a dwarf multi-cannon on your ship as well in the future. I just think, yeah, they're gonna do huge expansions to, like, all of these things in the future. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what they end up doing here. Utility skills. Construct your sailing experience. Ship building. So building with some of these planks here gives you some construction XP. New planks, I skipped this part. Yeah, sorry, construction is taking to the high seas. Aboard your ship, you'll be building everything from sturdy ship hulls to intricate components, setting the stage for countless epic voyages. We've got new planks to go with those hardwoods. You'll notice you can't yet use these to construct anything in your POH, and that's because we don't want to create new construction methods that exceed the XP per hour that you get from building teaks and mahogany furniture. Camphor, ironwood, rosewood, construction XP. Alongside the new planks, shipbuilding will also see the addition of ship components. They're new items that are created and then used in shipbuilding. Some of these items are made from planks using construction, a hammer, and a saw at the workbenches near shipwrights. All right. Basically, that's what it is. Redwood, or rosewood, hull parts, 5 rosewood planks. For the people who merged redwoods, respectively, yeah. To allow us to utilize large amounts of planks in the construction of high-tier boats, you'll be able to combine hull parts into large hull parts. Okay, so it's hull parts. That's about it. We knew this was coming. Just new ways of, doing your thing. Building your boats and stuff. Now, it's not like construction. If you did the beta, building your ship is not like I'm doing this for hours. It was just like build it up and then you're good to go. I would love for them to have some ship building like method where you could pay someone to build your ship, or you could do it manually. And like maybe you're paying 500K for them to build the boat, and it just does it instantly. Or you do like the oath plate smithing method. You do that. Like where you're clicking and manually like hammering the stuff. Like that would be, to me, I'd love to do that. It's actually like, it's pretty cool. Thieving, pirate plunder, and merchant stalls. Standard chest, thieving chest, bank chest. You got some chests and stuff. Pirate plunder at merchant stalls. We know you plan on sailing the 7 seas in order to get an orderly and lawful manner. I misread that, but yeah, we're gonna be sailing the seas and just stealing and pillaring and pillaging, and I can't talk, but you know what I mean. Between us, we do plan to introduce some sticky-fingered sailors opportunities. Sneak through bustling markets or plunder pirate strongholds with nothing but your thieving skills. In this case, crime does pay in the form of balanced XP rates and enticing loot like coral frags and cannonballs. Pirate NPCs and chests. Pickpocket swashbucklers or unlock pirate chests to earn clues, cannonballs, coral, and other naughty treasures. Rusty pirate chest. 33. You get coins, gems, bars, runes, coral fragments, bronze or to steal cannonballs, clue scrolls, medium. Tarnished pirate chests. What do we get from here? A couple more cannonballs, all the same stuff, some coral. This one too. Cannonballs, etc., and then reinforced pirate chest would be umbral coral frags, some cannonballs up to adamant, coins, gems, bars, and runes. They should add jars. Merchant stalls. These will be market stalls that may look familiar, but they don't deplete when stolen from. You'll still need to watch out for the guards. To compensate, these stalls provide reduced XP rates and have been revised loot tables. So this is like AFK stalls. So maybe you can lure the people into a spot and then do your thing, just keep stealing. Interesting here. Okay, so you can steal up to rune cannonballs. You've got some stuff, different levels, 82, 75. Stealing some sapphires, emeralds, rubies, or diamonds. Like I like that idea of a non-depletable stall that you just click it once. Your guy steals every 4 ticks, and if you get caught, then you got to deal with it. I like it. I like it. What's next? Future polls. Okay, dude, we made it. We made it! If you're still here and you made it, what are you looking forward to with sailing? Put it in the comments. And the funniest comment will get pinned. Thank you. All the content we've proposed is designed to enrich the game world without overshadowing existing training methods. I think they've achieved that. They've said, like, we know the current metas. We're not going to break those. We're just going to give alternatives. We aim to give you loads of fun new ways to switch things up while you're training your skills, but we're not stopping there. After our proposals pass the poll, we'll be doing some rigorous reviews to make sure that XP rates, spawn timings, and yields are well balanced and slide right in alongside existing skill activities. You can help us by sharing your feedback and letting us know your priorities. We're sailing ahead together. We'd also appreciate if you fill out the official survey link below. There's the survey. If you guys want to fill it out, do it. Otherwise, this will be coming to a poll near you soon, and you can vote for it there. I'm cautiously optimistic about sailing. I believe there will be 400 players, 400,000 players online on the day of release or like the first weekend of release for sure. Servers are gonna like. I don't know if just adding more servers will be the answer. Maybe I don't know. Good luck, Jagex. They better have that planned out. There's gonna be bugs and glitches and whatever else. I do think there's gonna be players that log in for the first time in years just to do this on the first day or the first weekend. If the skill sucks at that point, then it's permanently gonna have the reputation that it sucks, and they need to get this right. Right now, it looks like a RuneScape skill that integrates all the other skills in a fun, meaningful way, but the actual action of sailing and the way it feels is the most important part. They can balance the hunter XP rates, they can balance the food that you eat, they can balance the potions that have cool like new buffs and boosts and whatever, but that won't matter if the actual act of sailing isn't easy, intuitive, and feels fun. And like, I want to have fun. I want to be excited to log in and go sailing. I'm probably not going to be excited to log in and go catch crabs. So I need something that's going to like bring me back to this. We have not seen PVM yet. What are we going to be able to fight, and what are we going to get from it? There needs to be islands of dragons. There needs to be dungeons full of creepy little creatures that drop stuff. That'll be the next poll and the next blog, probably in a few months. What are we right now? We're at the end of July. This is supposed to come out in the fall, from what I saw. So that should probably be coming out after this passes the poll, and maybe even like mid-August they'll talk about that. But they absolutely need to add all kinds of cool new things. Prediction: gem crab dragons are coming. That's my prediction. It's going to be like they drop dragon bones and rubies or something, instead of like rune dragons drop rune bars. That could be cool. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I look forward to it. But in the meantime, I really appreciate you sticking along for this 42-minute grind. Make sure when this poll comes out, you think about what you're answering, and don't vote yes to everything if you don't like it. They can change it. If you don't like rosewood and you want it to be redwood, vote no to rosewood, right? Or vote no to the logs, right? So, and then you can put your feedback at the bottom. But in the meantime, yeah, have a great rest of your day. Appreciate you very much, and we'll see you in the next video. Oh, one more thing that I wanted to mention before we go.